Hello and welcome back to Gator Theories. Today we've got a Manifest theory for you guys. So if you haven't seen Manifest Series 1 or 2, I suggest you go watch that before you watch this video because I can guarantee you this video will have spoilers. But if you've already seen them and want to hear this Manifest Season 3 theory, then stay tuned, so we'll get straight into that. But before we do that, if you are new to the channel and wouldn't mind clicking that subscribe button, that would be awesome, as we are trying to hit 5,000 subscribers and we're getting so close, I can't believe it. So if you wouldn't mind clicking that subscribe button for more TV and movie videos every week, then make sure you click it. But without further ado, let's get on with this Manifest Season 3 video. So in the show, all the characters who have been on Flight 828 get these call-ins. Now, a call-in is when something of a higher power, a higher nature, tells them they have to do it and they have to follow it, or there could be drastic consequences, and it's usually something good in the show that happens. But there's lots of ways you can get a call-in. So in the show so far, we've had the call-ins from the Flight 828 people have call-ins. We have Zeke, who got his by nearly dying from frostbite and being stuck in a cave, and then we had the guy who was was it lake or river for 3 days, came back and had 3 days to live before his death date came, and he didn't call the call-ins. But then we had in Season 2 Greystone get a call-in after she became pregnant with Ben Stone's child, meaning she then had call-ins while she was pregnant. So the ways you can get a call-in is basically by a near-death experience or a should-have-been death experience and the higher power saved you, or being pregnant to someone who has had one of these experiences and is receiving call-ins. So that brings me on to the next point. So will Olive ever get a call-in? Now, Olive Stone in the show has a pretty rough, considering she's kind of like the odd one out in her family. She's the only one who doesn't receive call-ins in her family. She feels left out because they won't talk to her about it for most of the series. I mean, it's getting better by the end of Season 2, they're involving her more. And then to make matters worse, her boyfriend also gets call-ins. So all of this, you'd feel pretty left out. I know if I was the only one in my family without call-ins, I'd probably end up making them up just so I can feel like I fit in, you know what I mean? So let's think about this logically. Will Olive get call-ins in Season 3? Now, we've explained the two ways she could get a call-in, so let's talk about how Olive may get these. So with a near-death experience. A near-death experience could happen out of anywhere, but let's think of the logical reasons where Olive could be in a near-death experience. So the first one is obviously the Major died. Now, the Major's team will obviously be looking for a, get back at the world for what's happened to their leader after she was killed by Sylvie, which was a real unexpected turn of events. I'm not going to lie, that did shock me at the end of Season 2. So with them looking out for anyone who's involved with any 828 passengers will obviously become a target, just as well as 828 passengers are themselves. We've already seen that because of the actions Michaela Stone took, that those people stole Cal for a bit, but then it worked out better for a call and it meant Zeke could live. But there's lots of things that could happen, and the Majors people will obviously be one in part, and now they're under track, especially now the Majors died and they're trying to get in. So Olive could wind up in something like that, end up maybe being shot or something happens and she just gets trapped and somehow gets saved by the power and then comes back with a call-in, but then she'd also have a death date that she'd have to beat by following the call-ins. Other ways she could get this near-death experience, obviously 828ers are, anyone involved with them is a target for 828 hate groups that we see in the show, and obviously the Stone family is pretty well known by most people in the world as pretty much the most famous people about the 828 flight, especially with Ben Stone sort of taking a lead with all the 828ers, and their house has been attacked multiple times. So Olive could end up in one of those situations quite easily. Another way this could happen is that Olive gets caught up in the call-ins of her family members, and let's face it, the call-ins aren't always exactly the safest. Last time Olive got caught up in one of the call-ins was when they were at the nightclub, and she and TJ nearly died, as well as so many other 828ers when one of the 828 church group became obsessed with them and thought by setting them all on fire they'd come back to life and it would show the miracle that they are. And obviously Olive was in there and was getting caught up in the whole drama, and TJ nearly died. In fact, for an episode or two we thought he may have died, but then her dad had a call-in and she helped him work it out that it was better. But these call-ins aren't exactly the safest. I mean, you have people being blown up in the call-ins, you have bad people in the call-ins, you have lots of dangerous things that in the end, while she's trying to help out, could also get her killed just as the same as any of the other people involved in these call-ins. So that way she could easily end up in a near-death experience and have the call-ins that way by getting something trapped or something and just should be dying but didn't. Another thing that could have happened is she just has an experience. Maybe she goes for a walk and gets trapped like Zeke did, or maybe she was just riding a bike and then fell in the river. Who knows? Anything could happen so she could get a call-in. So the likelihood of that is pretty standard. However, the other side of it is she could also get call-ins by being pregnant to someone who was an 828 flighter or who has experienced this and is getting the call-ins. Now, her boyfriend is, of course, TJ, and obviously TJ is leaving to go on his expedition, and it's all sad. And, you know, teenagers do things that teenagers do when they're hurt and that. And she could take revenge in some way, but I think they could end up a storyline that before they go, she ends up hooking up with TJ in that way and accidentally gets pregnant, and then she'd get a call-in through that. Now, that could be it works with the storyline a lot better than probably a near-death experience does. So I think they could have a storyline in season 3 where TJ does get her pregnant by accident or on purpose, who knows, and then she starts getting call-ins and helps out the rest of the family. Or TJ decides to stay because she's pregnant. Could be another storyline. So season 3 could really have the storyline where Olive gets a call-in. And I mean, it makes sense. She's the only one in the Stone family not to have them yet. Obviously the baby, we're not counting in this, but she's the only one not to have it. She knows all about the call-in, she helps out, and she does feel left out. And it seems like a logical step that all the Stone family have a call-in, and there's a reason why the Stone family were picked rather than just any random family, why they're the leaders of this, why so many of them were picked to have these call-ins, and why so many of them are listened. There's something important about the Stone family. I mean, Michaela, their auntie, has it. I mean, Ben Stone's had it for Greystone, who is the mum, got it because she was pregnant. Then there's obviously Cal, her twin brother, who has it, and she's the only one left out in the family. So I think it would give her a reason, and I think the story writers will probably go along with this and give Olive a call-in, and it's very justifiable. The reasons I've given so far as to how she could get a call-in make it seem like the writers could easily pop it in, and it would kind of just accept the storyline. Whether it'll happen or not is a different question, and I would love to know from you guys whether you think it will happen or not. So tell me in the field section for you newbies, or comment section down below, do you think Olive will get a call-in season 3, or will they may even introduce a new way to get call-ins and Olive gets it that way. So do you guys think she'll get a call-in in season 3? I think I'm going to go out on a limb and say yes, she will get a call-in, but I don't know which way they're going to do it. Obviously, if they bring it in with her having a near-death experience, then she'll also have a death date, which she'll have to fight, but she would obviously follow the call-ins, so it's not going to be as bad. So yes, so do you think Olive will have a call-in? I'm going for yes. Tell me your opinions down below. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you smash that like button and share it on social media so your friends can see. If you're new to the channel and wouldn't mind clicking that subscribe button, as I said at the start, that'd be amazing, as we are trying to hit 5,000 subscribers and we are getting so close. I believe there's about 250 subs we need left, so if you could help us out at all and click that subscribe button, that'd be amazing and you'd make our day. Reasons to subscribe, I mean, it's free. So that's always a good thing, but we do movie and TV videos every week, and if you have a movie or TV show you want us to do, then put it down below also in the comment section, and we will try and get on to doing theories on that, reviews on that, then and nows on that. So anything really to do with TV and film, so we'll do that. We make 2 videos a week, so it's worth subscribing, because I'm sure there'll be something you want to see. And if you're already subscribed and awesome like that, first of all, thank you for subscribing. You make our day every day. But if you wouldn't mind also clicking that bell button, then you'll never miss a new video. As always, we've been here on Gate of Theories. Thanks for watching, and we will see you on Tuesday with a brand new video. Thanks for watching, guys.
Feel uninvited, left home in West LA, I'm not excited, so uninspired, on my way to play the Bay.